it's a follow-up. It's a follow-up video. Now that a whole calendar day has passed since my dad's haircut, I thought it would be interesting my mom's reaction to my dad's number 4 guard buzz cut. I'm getting out of the way, so there you go.
I love it. I love it, and I loved Jack's hair before. I didn't think he needed a haircut or shorter or longer or anything. I liked the way it was, but it's like as Nick was buzzing, I guess you'd call it, Jack's hair, it was just like this other person just transformed across. And this is something that Jack has been wanting. I mean, he's been wanting to come to that point where he's going to just do this. But then the thing was to find out what guard. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Do you want, you know, a guard 3, or do you want a 4? Do you want to keep this part longer? You want to do this part of 3? And there's just a lot of questions. A lot that has to go into it, and pictures, and that has to go into it. So when it finally came into happening, it was exciting, and it was like I could look at Jack as it was being done, and it was just like I just felt like he felt free, because this is what he wanted. And not only was he getting what he wanted, but it looks great. I love it. I love it. And just everything that goes along with it is, everything that goes along with it. The other night, Jack said, oh, hairspray, I won't need hairspray anymore. So I said, that's right. You know, I said, you don't have to worry about messy hair. You don't have to worry about bedhead, and you don't have to worry about cat hair, you know, hat hair. So
now for the funny part of this too, I want to end the video. You can stay right on. I'm not important in this video. I'm more of an ominous voice. But let's close the video by talking about the hilarious part of this whole thing. And that is, you both trusted me with his haircut as if I knew what I was doing. So let's talk about that.
We didn't think anything about it. We just knew that Nick was going to cut his daddy's hair. We know that he doesn't like to go to the beauty shops or the barber shop.
The beauty shops.
So he doesn't like that, so it'd be a lot more comfortable, and it almost seemed like, okay, Nick would cut it. I never thought any differently. I never thought about Nick not being able to cut it, or if it wasn't even, never thought about it. It just looked great.
Something you had said afterwards is that you said, well, you were describing what you were doing, so if someone's describing what they're doing as to do it, then they know what they're talking about. But what's funny is before I did it, I was literally looking at the device, the Remington Shortcut Pro. I was looking at it, and I was thinking, I've never used this with the guard on it. So I was literally like, kind of turned to the side and like, okay, which side's the plastic side? Which side goes on his hair? And I was thinking, man, should I like try this on my arm here real quick just to make sure? But I was like, how bad could I mess it up? So I just went ahead and did it. And even like with the beard, I was like, well, he can do that himself. And you did, I guess, later on, like that night. Or did you get your beard?
No, I haven't.
You still haven't even blended it?
No.
Okay, I can't tell the difference, but it's just so funny that like, and I made a video with my wife, with Jill, about that. But she was the only one that had any reservations at all. She kept them to herself, that I actually knew what I was doing. But yeah, you just talk about what you're doing as you're doing it, and people assume that you know what you're doing, even if you don't. So that was the funny thing.
So funny.
But it wasn't a conversation that took place until after it was done, like 45 minutes later. And then I think I sort of said, you just assumed I knew what I was doing. And then you're like,
sure, why not? Yeah, you're just supposed to be able to cut your daddy's hair. You're just supposed to be able to do that. When we got in Friday night, and you know, we knew that it was planned to happen this weekend, that Nick was going to cut his daddy's hair, and we weren't really for sure where it was going to end up, like as far as the guard, but we knew it was going to happen. So when it happened, it was just like Nick said, oh, okay, it's going to happen. It's going to, you know, it needs to be tonight because we're going to be gone tomorrow. And so it probably from that conversation, it was probably, his hair was being cut within the next 3 minutes. I mean, it was fast. It was just like plastic bags.
Yeah, and we didn't address that because like I wanted the video just to be the haircut. I didn't want to talk about anything. I just wanted to do it. But like, he was wearing a garbage bag around his head. Like we didn't even talk. We cut like 2 garbage bags, put them on the kitchen floor, and then we're like, oh, we need one for him. So then we sliced it with a knife and just put it around him. It was a garbage bag. Like 3 garbage bags were involved in this thing.
It was probably like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
like
on a Friday night, and like didn't really talk about it. Just like, okay, here we go. Let's just do it, and I hope it works out.
And then it was just like, it was magical. It was magical. I mean, as Nick was cutting the hair off, I thought, wow, this is what Jack's been talking about. I mean, I never thought his hair looked bad, but it, you know, it just looks so clean and classy and just manicured, and that wasn't even trimmed up. That was just.
And he didn't even have to go to a beauty shop. I think I need to explain that.
The beauty shop,
and then, yeah, let's close the video by explaining the beauty shop. So where we're from in Alabama, the place where like women go to get their hair cut and like get perms and I guess masks, you know, beauty masks,
manicures, pedicures,
all that stuff. That's where women will go to get all that done. But if you're a man, you can. So I grew up going to the beauty shop just because that's all of it. My dad went there, but I never. But like when you say it out loud, like this is the first time in my life, nearly 38 years old, I'm questioning. I guess I got my hair cut at a beauty shop.
You did.
So without that explanation, that was going to sound really weird. Like he's going to get his nails done. And
why are you going to a beauty shop?
So yeah, he doesn't have to go to the beauty shop anymore because he trusted me to cut his hair when I didn't necessarily know exactly what I was doing. But fortunately, it all worked out. There you go. This has been an adventure for all. Your comments belong right here.